Hello, the one and all, Raziel here, and as you see in the title, I'd like to talk about Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. First off, warning everybody, this movie is 2.5 hours long, and there are a few moments where it kind of feels like it drags, but for the most part, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I didn't know what to expect for the first Maleficent movie. I still to this day have yet to really see Sleeping Beauty, but we all know the story. I obviously know about her turn to a dragon, Prince Philip killing her. By the way, as far as I'm aware of, that is probably the only moment a Disney prince actually did something. I know Eric took out Ursula, but that was him in the ship. In a sense, he had a little bit of protection, but Philip himself took on Maleficent as a dragon with nothing but a sword and a shield. As far as I know, he is the most active prince in the Disney universe, as far as I know. But that said, what the heck happened to him here? Sorry. Nothing against the guy who played Prince Philip. He was pretty good, but for the most part, like most Disney princes, he didn't even do that much. Even when he did do something, it didn't really seem like it was because of what he did that caused the effects that happened. It was other things, but good job for trying. As far as the other characters, Elle Fanning as Aurora, like her sister, she is a fantastic actress. There are moments that literally just tore my heart out from her reaction to things. I just wanted to reach to the screen and give the girl a hug. I was like, jeez, it's going to be okay. Never in my life did I ever think I'd want to see a catfight between Michelle Pfeiffer and Angelina Jolie. But lo and behold, this is one of those moments where you didn't realize you really wanted it until you got it. Because, wow. I mean, the straight up, just the tension between these two alone was nothing but pure animosity. I was waiting for honestly, there was a moment I literally expected them to just pull out swords and just start hacking away at each other. That's how much tension you could feel in the dinner scene. But at the same time, it was a fantastic one-on-one with each other. I enjoyed that. When it comes to the other characters, you have your three fairies. I'm not going to lie. They never did anything for me in the first movie. They don't really do much for me in this movie either. There was a couple moments where I did kind of sit there and think, well, that happened. But still, as far as the CGI goes with the Moor, I have to give them credit for this because I never thought I'd have emotions for a tree outside of, what everybody already cares about trees. They give us our oxygen, we give them carbon, the usual stuff. But this one here, take Lord of the Rings with the Ents. I ain't gonna lie, I really could have cared less. What was his name? Treebeard, but still, it was a nice scene. Here, though, I actually felt for these creatures when you see how the humans treat the Moor. And that's another thing that crossed my mind. After the first movie, how is Maleficent still seen as a bad guy? Because that makes no sense. We understand the whole thing with King Stefan, but this movie takes place 5 years after that. Aurora's been taking care of both the Moor and the human kingdoms, and life looks pretty good in the beginning. Heck, the way the movie starts with a little banter and play that involves, by my opinion, the best Sonic the Hedgehog character we will probably ever get in theaters. I haven't heard yet if that movie's going to continue on, but if it does, do not worry. This little ball of adorableness, you'll know her when you see her, for me, is in fact Sonic the Hedgehog, and I won't need any more. I'm satisfied. I have to give it up for Diaval, played here by Sam Riley. He was fantastic. There wasn't really too much real comedy going on in this movie, but the moments that were the best all came from him. Just like in the first movie, he was fantastic. I actually need to look him up and see what else he's been in, because he's pretty decent. So, one of the things that obviously blew my mind when I saw the trailer is Chiwetel Ejiofor looking exactly the same species as Maleficent, which we discovered is called Dark Fae. Now, when I hear Dark Fae, this isn't exactly what I imagine. Anybody who's into lore, third race, stuff like that, you probably have an idea of how Dark Faes look. Not complaining, though. I love this race of people. I mean, obviously we'll see far more of them. I mean, you see shadows of them here, but you get a clear view of them in the movie, and it is absolutely breathtaking. because to where here we have Aurora who has just been in this one forest with the kingdom. We get to find out where they've been, because that's a question for me. Like, where were y'all at the end of the first movie during the battle and all that? They do explain it, but when you learn just how vast they are, when you see the effects that their terrain had on their bodies, it is phenomenal. It makes me sit there thinking, man, can y'all please be real? That would just be amazing to have that race amongst us. I'm gushing a bit. I apologize. Moving on. Now, the plot itself is actually really easy to figure out. I mean, as soon as they go to dinner, you pretty much pick up on who the antagonist is, how the story is going to go, and even when there are a few surprises here and there, you kind of catch on real fast to what happened and what the plan is. That said, it really doesn't ruin the enjoyment of the film for me. And, of course, they got my boy Warwick Davis in here. Thank goodness he's not in leprechaun makeup, but nevertheless, anytime I see Warwick Davis, I just always expect a good performance. It doesn't matter what that guy has played. Everything he's been in, from Willow to Flitwick, has been fantastic. Now, before I get too much into one of the, I guess say, most devastating points of this movie, one thing I would like to point out, Angelina Jolie was phenomenal in here. I mean, most of us know what's going on in her life thanks to tabloids and stuff like that. And who knows how much of that is real. We know the news, they just try to, whatever. But if even half of that stuff is real, you can imagine she's going through a pretty tough time. Something that could easily bring an average person down. But when you watch her in this movie, there is no hint whatsoever of her personal life affecting her. I've seen a few movies where, not her, but I've seen a few movies where certain actors just can't shake the sadness or whatnot in their face if something bad is going on in their life. No judging on them. I mean, it's hard to keep them in mask at times. But in here, Angelina Jolie, talk about a thespian. She was completely Maleficent. There wasn't no hint of anything negative going on in her life, aside of what's going on in the movie. But the tip-off for me was when you start seeing the dark fate children. There's a moment where, just like with actual birds, how they would push their little young out of the nest to make them fly, they do that with children here. And when they start flying, just the pure look of elation on her face when they start flying next to her. First off, you see right off the bat, yeah, this woman loves kids. But at the same time, that smile, I don't know, it didn't feel like an acting smile. That looked like a genuine smile of happiness just being surrounded by kids. So with that was completely heartwarming, and I absolutely loved it. Now, on to the crux of this. This movie, if you remember the first one, the biggest thing with the Fae and the Moor was iron. Iron just is very volatile towards their physiology. It's a shame. Well, if you thought iron was bad, wait till you see what they create here. I don't even think they had a name for it. I won't explain how they make it, because how they make it is absolutely heart-wrenching when you realize what the ingredients are. I can't imagine if the setup was real, how it would affect people outside of complete devastation. But once this ultimate weapon is created, the effects that it has on the Fae and the Moor, ooh, there's no way I can even describe it without ruining it, but all I can say is I literally just sat there and I felt like a piece of me was torn off when I saw the effect it had. It's quite horrifying, to be honest, and it's not a one-off either. We see it a lot in the third act. But with that said, everybody knows the story with Maleficent when she turns into the dragon, right? Well, and we got to see our dragon in the first movie. Well, we get to see another mythical creature in this one, and I gotta tell you, although I've seen it in a few other movies, I won't name any off because it'll give away what it is, but this one here, despite the coloring, is in fact one of my favorite versions, because I can sit there and think, I want one. Can I have one, please? That's awesome. That was freaking awesome. And even then, you see it coming before it happens, but even still, it does not ruin a thing. So I'm going to stop gushing here. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, I highly suggest that if you like the first one, if you enjoy Sleeping Beauty, if you just enjoy the story, go see this. I more than likely would not be surprised if this is the end. I mean, I don't think they'll make another sequel. I can't see why they would, but it is Disney, so who knows. But if they, story-wise, there's really nothing left to tell. I don't care. If they did make a third one, I'll probably still go see it. Just saying, this is probably the end, and I would definitely get this for my Blu-ray collection or my digital collection. This was a fantastic movie. So anybody out there, if you're interested, go. Just, go for the cheap one or get a membership or something where it's free. Just trust me, you will enjoy this movie, especially if you have kids. That said, if you do have kids, there are some moments, I'll leave it up to you. You know how your children are. If your children are easily squeamish or easily devastated by certain things, maybe not take them to this. But if you know that your children can handle it, take them to this. Definitely will build on their imagination, without a doubt. So I will see you all again very soon. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all again very soon. Take care.